onto placing them in our story as the inciting incident takes place, like finding the body or discovering the theft in a bank heist. And then our sleuth can begin their investigation, look for clues and suspects, and zero in on our criminal, and make the detective job difficult until finally they keel over and our hero comes out victorious. All in a day's work when the criminal is tossed into the slammer. Also, some authors might take artistic liberties that might not be totally realistic, so taking from real life might solve that problem. Though, if you are going for a more stylistic approach to storytelling, don't let me stop you. After all, being realistic doesn't always mean better. So, I sometimes I see detectives in stories that have the most convenient way to show how supposedly clever they are. Like, they will be face to face with an opponent, and they will just randomly say something like, "Ha, you had the so and so item in your pocket all along that proves you're the culprit." But I'm left wondering how. How could you have known that? Do you have x ray vision? Did you check the code beforehand? Did you see the culprit quickly slip something into their pocket? At the very least, can you give me a detection as to how you came to that conclusion based off of theory and evidence? Even speculation would be better than just the author randomly having the detective declare evidence without any kind of setup or payoff. Or the detective knows because the author wanted them to know, and that is not how the best detective. In other words, the character is smart because the author told me they're smart, even if I don't necessarily agree. If you have ever read any Sherlock Holmes short stories, you will see that Sir Arthur Conan Doyle gives all the evidence and Sherlock Holmes discovers them. It's up to us whether we can try to solve the mystery ourselves or wait for Sherlock Holmes to tell us his deduction. When Mr. Holmes gives evidence A, B, and C, we have a setup, and it builds suspense, which is relieved when we are then given the final deduction. In other words, the payoff. None of this comes out of nowhere. Half the fun of reading detective stories is that audiences can engage with them too. One might argue that they want to write a story that is more secretive and mysterious. To which I would recommend you read And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. I won't spoil, of course, but to be fair, this book has been around for years. But the main takeaway is that we are all given clues even if we can't figure them out. Once again, it's proper setup and payoff. Give the audiences the clues, but have your detective figure it out. Sometimes the fun for the reader is exactly that they try to solve the mystery themselves. It would take away the fun if the author just randomly decided that they want to reveal their hand in the most anticlimactic way. And most of the time, the tragedy is that they actually thought it would leave the audiences stunned by how awesome they thought their writing was. Also, I just want to mention that some older stories can have some dated or distasteful or downright bad topics within them, so please be vigilant when you are looking at them for source material. You can look online before committing to reading them so that you can know what triggers might be in them. Or you could just read fiction from more recent times to avoid this problem altogether, since newer titles wouldn't write in harmful stereotypes. Hopefully.